it comes to a question. Then you now look at someone who is maybe a WAEC holder performing more or doing more than someone who is an MSc
Well, you can't restrict
holder.
intelligence.
So,
Anything is
yeah,
possible.
you
But
can
what I
restrict,
would say mainly now is this. I took that out of my head. So because we have a commercial coming in the matter of seconds, I'm sure before we come back, we'll get back to that question. There was a follow-up question to something I was supposed to ask you on the employment process and the civil servants who are at the secretariat working, whether or not you've spoken to them and what they had to say about it. But when we return, we would get more from this conversation. Meanwhile, for you, share your thoughts with us. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. Yes, that question is, has there been a time in this country where people get into the civil service simply just by writing exams?
No.
All right. I like the fact that you're blunt and you answer directly to bring us to more conversations when we return. 0809-030-6416 is the WhatsApp number. We'll be back. 29 minutes past 8. The conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire Nigeria Info. Let's talk. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. And, the method applied for the employment process has become a problem for many, as people say. It's not been, we think it's not being done properly. We think there's so many things shrouded here in secrecy, and we need things to be more transparent. The chairman of the Rivers Indigenous NGOs and Civil Society Network, Tombari, Dumka-Kote, in the studio with me having this conversation. We had logged on to the rscsc.ng, that's the River State Government Civil Service Commission website, to see perhaps whether the list we can find, but it says the site is under maintenance. This is what it says. I'm looking at the site right now. River State Government Civil Service Commission, the online test portal is now officially closed. So whether this is for the test or there's another site for the list, we can't tell. But this is the one site that I know that that's been announced.
This is the site they've been using all this while.
So I have not heard of another one for where maybe the list is there. We don't know. So
they should also make it public so that we know
if that is available.
And then we can also visit the site.
So the bone of contention now is that we do not know the people that passed the exams.
Yeah.
So who are the people you are sending these text messages to, and who is even sending the text message? Now it brings us to the situation we had at the Adjuru University employment issue.
Yeah.
Where plenty of irregularities was said by government to be the reason why that employment was cancelled. And that would have a lot to do with human interference. So now we don't know who is sending this message. If the person decides to send the message to somebody that he knows or whoever, that means that person would come and automatically he has the message, so you are going to continue with the employment process.
Whether he passed that exam or not, whether he wrote or participated in the process or not.
So hopefully the commission would explain better if they give us that opportunity to. I would always say on my shows, and I will say again, you are working for Rivers people. So the least that can happen is for government to have proper communication and try as much as possible every step of the way for any exercise to carry the people along and have conversations like this one. Come to the studio. We're very open to have you sit down and explain what's happening so we understand the process. But very important was when I asked you before the break, has there been a time in this country that anybody that got employed because they wrote exam and passed and they wrote out and said, you're now employed to the civil service? We heard the Ignatius situation again where reports came that people were even paying money. Even after they might have gone through the process, they say they had to go pay money to some people to find their way to get. In fact, you'd even hear stories of even some civil servants who are in certain positions that would carry their brothers and sisters and to get employment. We also know what happened at the UST time with the list that leaked, and the school said, well, that's not from us. Anyways, that was how we all know how that ended. But we saw those sort of things come up during employment exercises. And now into the civil service, it's becoming one that is beginning to move in a direction where people are asking what is happening. So what exactly now are you going to do with this? Because after your statement, I don't know whether you've been able to make contact with the chairman of the commission to understand what this is happening after their last statement. So what is the way forward now?
Like I said earlier, we are also doing our background checks because you see, this is a very first
background checks. How do you have access to the people that wrote tests? Do you know
what
the questions that they were asked?
I told you earlier that we have called on Rivers people since the commission is finding it a very difficult task to make the list public either online through newspaper publications or anything, which invariably implies that there is no list anywhere, but they are doing this by proxy based on maybe what political cronies have sent to them. What we have said is that as many as that wrote this test, because there were slips, we understand that there are slips, accreditation slips that were given to them online. We've said, come to our office, submit this information to us. You can also submit to us online, and we are compiling. As of this morning, we've gotten over 150 persons submitting that to us, and we are gathering more.
Submitting what?
Submitting information as to their
the test?
Their slip.
Okay.
Their slip, the permit slip that allows you to take that test, and then their name, location, local government, where they are from, and what they apply for their qualification. We are trying to get this data because why we are doing that is that we probably want to cross-check this with what will be coming out from the other end when the time comes. And then we also want to build up something, because you don't deceive a people to say, look, we are responsible, we have been charged to do this recruitment, and you are not making that process transparent. You are not making it open for the people to participate.
Who should make the process transparent? This is where people have the questions. People that work in the commission are civil servants.
That they are civil servants, they are having the mandate of the people, and they should be able to. They say a public office is an office of trust.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
Let me paint a picture. This organization, okay?
Yeah.
This is organization, and they want us to employ someone, and we here are doing this, and then something is wrong that is we are seen as bad because it's affecting us that is conducting the employment as well.
Yeah.
As well as whoever, but we might say under the guise of we are following instructions of whoever we are following instructions of. Don't you think if I don't say anything, then it puts me in a position where I would also be accused? Because if civil servants are the ones, it is not saying that it's the governor, but I'm making an example now. It is not the governor that will come to the civil service to sit down and do the process. The person that is typing the text message that they are sending, I do not think it's the SSG or it's the one commissioner, or I don't know if you're understanding my point. It is also a civil servant that is holding the phone, that knows that, oh, this test that we wrote, see what is happening, that is still sending that message, and there's nothing.
Thank you very much. Because like you
how
said,
do we address
the
that?
governor will not be able to sit down there to do everything. The governor has saddled some persons with this responsibility. And these persons are expected to carry on this responsibility without fear or favor. And where they are not doing well in this responsibility, sometimes I think even the information they will be feeding the governor on the recruitment process might be wrong. And that's why you have the civil society as the fourth eye of society to also check and ensure that things are done correctly, according to the way they are supposed to go.
Are there any reports about slots being given out or distributed? We know that these things happen in employment where they say these politicians have 5 slots, this director has 2 slots. These things are, but it's I will call it. It says an open.
Even if they did it by slots,
secret truth or open lie or open secret. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, if you we already have complaints. We already have. I told you we can say on good authority that we already have reports of people who were there even when these things were being made, and then maybe they were by one way or the other because they had no political affiliation to those who were doing it. They were not allowed on those lists. But that's on the one end. But even if that was done, what we are saying is that make that list, those people you want to recruit, make that list public. We should know how many persons there are, how many persons are BSc holders, how many persons are HND holders, how many persons are OND holders, how many persons are persons with disabilities, how many persons are women. Let us know the details of this list. Let's know what was their performance in the examination.
All right, let's put it this way. Have you been able to reach or get those people who got this text message and have been screened physically?
For those who got the text message,
have you reached any of them?
Yeah, we have missed. We have at the secretariat there. We met some of them.
What did they say?
Yeah, we met some of them, even if we didn't make them understand or motive of asking some questions, and they also reliably told us how their names were.
How did their names go?
How their names got to the place where the text message was sent to them.
That's
that they were enlisted. Some said they were enlisted by their
Dumka-Kote. Yeah. The question now is they told you how. How did their names get there? What did they say?
Yeah, they mentioned the names of some honorables that got them enlisted. Some said, in fact, there is a physically challenged man who said he even was there when they were typing the list in his own community, and then he got to them, and even further, they told him this is not a gathering of disabled people. You have to leave this place. We are doing something more serious. It's as bad as that.
That was what he said he was told.
Yeah, that's what he was told. So you now.
So for all of them you met, what they said was there was somebody who perhaps
there are some who decided not to
some
say
level
some
in politics
that
that was able to make things happen for them. So they got the message after that.
They got the message.
They did not write the test.
A whole lot of them didn't even mention about the tests.
From those you spoke with?
Yeah. They didn't even mention about the test. Because when we were asking what was your performance in the test and this, and they just laughed. They say it's not something. Are we talking about tests here?
All right, let's open the phone lines. 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007. You have heard my guest. You've heard the questions. You've heard the post. You've seen the post on Facebook and the question we're asking. Are we going to see a repeat of what we saw at the Ignatius, where we would now say, oh, people have bought their way too much because we do not understand how the process is working? And there's not been any very concrete, clear-cut explanation as to why this is going the way it is. For many people, they have not seen the process as really transparent. And that has brought us to where we are now with all of these questions. Let's go to Zion in GRA. Zion, good morning.
Good morning to you, Andre.
Go ahead.
You see, I look at these organizations that never meant well for those people. When the Ignatius Ajuru University recruitment was going on, this same group of civil society said, oh, now politicians, people that they employ you, now politicians, relatives, so when this administration led by Sim Fubara came and altered that process, the same people say, oh, now our people know where they don't sack from people. Are you with me, Andrew? You have asked him salient questions, they have not answered you. Are the civil servant workers here compiling this list? Did they complain to you that these are politicians' names that are here? Andrew, we should for once celebrate Governor Sim Fubara for this good work he's doing. It is Rivers' sons and daughters that have been gaining full employment through his administration. For these people to wait and observe and give at least a credit, they are always looking for a way to drag this administration down. And I, Mr. Zion, will not allow that in Rivers State. I have seen Rivers people crying and begging for jobs. Over the years, no employment, no nothing, accusing the government. Now a man with the heart of gold came to employ you. Andrew, let me be honest to you, a lot of them even failed upon submitting their credentials. As I'm talking to you now, the process that is going, some of them cannot even fill common form. They cannot fill. The governor was on the pressure to even halt this process. But in his magnanimity, he said, no, employ them, we will train them. For you to appreciate a governor like Sim Fubara, a man that has a heart of gold, we will not allow.
All right, Zion,
any organization
we have to move on now to Chima.
down.
Is also in GRA. Let's hear from Chima. Chima, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Yes, Andrew. I think we should ask ourselves one question. And that question is, why is it that everything about starting from the former administration, when it has to do with employment, always dealing with party? This is the question we must ask ourselves. You understand? Why is this so? Because everything about this administration is being run by a sole administrator. That is not how to run government. Government transparently for people to know what does it take to be able to make a publish of the people who you have selected that they should be employed in this civil service. It is.
Chima, I think you would have to call us back. Let's go to Muriel. Muriel is calling from Okreka. Muriel, good morning.
Thank you, Efemi. Good morning.
Welcome.
Efemi, I want to commend your guests for what they are doing, but Efemi, intent matters, intentions matters. And I want to believe that what they are doing, their intentions are pure and it's not just a witch hunt. But if it's clearly for the fact that those that deserve to get this employment get it, then I say it could be kudos to him. Look, Efemi, firstly, I don't even like the fact that the Civil Service Commission should recruit people itself. I think there should be a separate body, a non-NGO, just like your guest, an organization that conducts recruitment in the civil service. Then when they are through, then the civil service can now welcome their new employees. Efemi, we are having so much issues in this our civil service. People are saying that civil servants are not working. They are not working now. The Bible says if the foundation is weakened, it's not strong, then what shall the righteous do? If you want to recruit people, the process at which you collect them is very important. Efemi, look, I am a big fan of the governor, my governor, and he's a civil servant. But Efemi, I will not take one thing away from the past governor Amechi. Look, that is one thing we will always remember him for. The way he recruited the 13,000 teachers. I don't know if it's actually 13,000, but the process that brought them into play. Look, Efemi, these teachers, if you go to schools now, you will see that they are the best hands now in our secondary schools. Efemi, he conducted, professors came, he did oral examination and written examination. Separate bodies, professors, PhD holders came and did oral examinations. If you're not there, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Those people that got the job, they don't even know anybody. Strength, you don't even know. In fact, you'll be amazed that you are now a civil servant. That process was perfect. It was top-notch. Now, my governor, who I support so much, is a civil servant, and Efemi, I don't expect anything less. I even want the process at which he, as a civil servant, will employ people who listen to better than their native time. Look, Efemi, we are seeing lecturers. In fact, for lecturers, it should be top-notch. Nothing less of no reduced standard. The standard should be 100%. Professors and PhD holders, and even outside, if he wants to employ outside hand, international hands, to screen our lecturers. Look, our female students are going through a lot. Right, if you bring any person to lecture them into the universities, we are going to have this continuous
Emmanuel is on the line. Let's take Emmanuel. Thank you, Muriel. Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm listening to your conversation, and it's a really critical one at this time. And what I just have to say, whatever we are saying here, whatever you are talking here, these people have made up their mind to do whatever they want to do. And the way it goes in Nigeria, no matter how you ask questions, nobody will answer it if they don't want to. Because the truth of the matter is that, look at our election. Let's start from there. The same people that are in authority, how did they get to power? We are all here. We all say, let's leave it at that. We all know the presidency, we know all that is transpired. Everything is like that in Nigeria. So, my dear brother in the studio, if I would advise you, just leave it at that, because this is Nigeria for you. Thank you.
All right. It's an anonymous caller on the line. Doesn't want his name known. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Very fine, thank you.
Talking about this civil service recruitment.
Are you a civil servant?
Yes. So that's all. I don't want my name to be mentioned.
Right, go ahead.
The fear we have is whether the technical staff we actually needed will be employed. Because we don't know who they are, the way they are doing the employment. I know that departments, environment, agri, and the rest of it, they need technical staff. So the fear I have is whether these clerical staff will actually be employed to fill the vacant positions in those technical areas.
So what are the technical?
That's the fear I'm having. Because since the process is like this and
how
not
important
very
is the
transparent.
technical area, and why do you think that they need to employ people into those areas? What
Sorry?
would it change? What would the technical areas change when we have people there?
People think they are not working in the civil service. People work, they work, and then the technical areas are there.
All right.
If there's, for example, an oil spill now, you need environmentalists to go there and know what is happening.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to take some messages. The lines are still open. We can take, I think we have enough time to take about one more call, 0817-923-0007. This person says, hidden employment assessment going on in River State is an outright destructive assessment process. The same perpetrators will consistently request for their children's performance assessment at all levels. What a pity. Now that I'm against what he's doing, but let the truth be told, people have worked and it's time for them to benefit. Besides everyone, there are qualified Rivers candidates. I don't get what you're saying here. Waiting you gain if the remove person when don't suffer gets this job. If to say na your man or brother get this job, you go start this movement. Bro, let the poor breathe, I beg. Try another ministry at Tokie from Opobo. All right. I don't know what he's referring to. Whether he's referring to you. We'll take another message says, I placed a bet that this recruitment will not be transparent. NPower was the most transparent government employment that happened since democracy. This business, Andrew, greetings. Please, River State government should not employ non-indigens into the civil service. Non-indigens have quotas, don't they? They have quota for non-indigens into the civil service in River State.
For the present recruitment, I think there is no provision for that.
Oh, okay. And Papa we in children never belleful, no go feed outsider. Okay. Thank God we get your point. Another one says, good morning, Andrew, and the guest in the studio. That employment process is a sham. A lot of corruption characterizes the process. They should emulate the Memechi ideology in the recruitment process by hiring professional body to do the recruitment. Joe sent this one in. This one says, there are slots given to communities because I experienced it. When I heard about the list compiling, I was told to go and meet the House of Assembly representative in my local government. I was able to meet him, but then he said he's done compiling the list. I didn't get any text message. My score is 6. Nora from Port Harcourt sent this message. Okay. How do we, I think the question is, what's the way forward now? Because if the civil servants, remember that we saw, even if the university had come out to say this is not from us, we did not do this. That was the UST situation. Many would say, oh, it was somebody that would have snapped that thing or put that thing out there for whatever reason. We have not seen anything of such with regards to this particular one. But the question the people would keep asking is, the civil servants are the ones who are in charge. They are the ones sitting down on those desks. They are the ones, whoever is sending the message has to be, if it's coming from the ministry, or the commission.
You know, that's why before I go, let me address the issue raised by Zion. You know, one thing is that a whole lot of time people don't try to address the process. They want to wait for the process to fail, and then they blame the head. And then we have particularly commended the governor for taking on this employment, remembering that the last administration in the state under His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike started this recruitment process, and then the governor would have come and as well say, look, I don't want to go on with this, I don't want to continue, let this process be suspended. But in his magnanimity and considering the situation and plight of Rivers people, he had given that olive branch for Rivers people to be considered and the employment process go on. But that does not mean if the governor have done that, we should still wait for until the governor comes to look at it and say, look, this process is not transparent. We are Rivers people and we should be able to raise alarm where we see things going wrong. that is the way. Like I said before, the governor sometimes may not even know what has gone wrong at what point, but it is through the alarm raised by the citizens that he will know, oh, something is going wrong somewhere. You remember the governor cancels on road projects. It was not because of anything, but because some persons raised concern about those road projects.
We don't have a lot of time, but thank you very much for making our time to join us. We'll keep in touch and continue to follow this story and see how it develops. In the meantime, we hope to hear from the commission, and hopefully some statement explaining or addressing this comes out. Ifeami Andrew is my name.
As a mom preparing for a big family party, what's the right soup that goes well with Golden Penny Semovita? A.